Water, water everywhere. Many of us around the world take water for granted. Why shouldn't we? When water is all around, it comes out of our faucets and collects in puddles on the sidewalk. When it rains, lakes and rivers brim with water. We buy water in bottles and serve it from the drinking fountain. In fact, we had a glass as big as the United States filled with every drop of water on the planet. The glass would have been 145 kilometers tall to hold it all. With this much water, do you think everyone would have enough to drink? Not so. A drop in the bucket. Water is fast becoming more precious than gold or oil. The planet simply does not have enough usable water to go around. For one thing, most of Earth's water is salt water, which we can drink or use water. Alcohol, which only about 3% of Earth's water is fresh, and most of that is locked away in polar ice cap, glacier, or underground layers of rock called aquifer. Moreover, water is not equally distributed around the world. Some countries have more water than others, but most have enough water to meet people's needs. What they don't always have is a means to make that water available to high-income countries can tap their hard-to-reach resources water much more easily than low-income countries, where people often don't have enough money to dig wells or build dams to create reservoirs. Today, we can only reach and use 1% of our fresh water. That's 1% is stretched over to free underlying problem. Pollution increased demand driven by the world, ever increasing population and climate change. Pollution impact. Water pollution is a problem on many continents. South America's Amazon rainforest includes 7 million square meters and is home to about 30 million people, more than 30,000 plant species. For decades, people have been dumping untreated human waste, toxic chemicals into the Amazon River. These poisons are slowly destroying the jungle's fragile ecosystem. In other low-income areas where fresh water often goes untreated, disease-carrying organisms grow and make people sick in other ways. It's because people lack access to running water or indoor plumbing. Bacteria-laden waste then flow into rivers and streams. People use the water in this toxic waterway for drinking, cooking, and bathing. According to the United Nations Development Program, half of the world hospital beds contain patients sick from waterborne illnesses. High-income countries such as the United States, where most people have access to clean drinking water, experience all the challenges with pollution. The most common is agricultural runoff. Every time it rains, chemical and animal waste from the farming are washed into the waterway. An edge sewage treatment system, oil spill, wastewater from fracking for oil and gas, and radioactive waste all threaten water as well. The Clean Water Act helps prevent some various forms of water pollution. Some administrations they have to expand its protection, while others have tried to limit them. Population impact. In 2011, humans hit a milestone. On October 30, a baby girl was born in the Philippines, the world's 7 billionth person. say that 9.7 billion people will be walking on the planet, each looking for food, energy, land, and water. Growing population reduced the amount of water available for each person. In 1950, the 2.5 billion on Earth only used a third of the fresh water that we use today. Many people thought of fresh water as a limited resource. Today, research shows 1 in 9 people in the world lack safe drinking water. Many live on less than 8 liters a day. By 2050, more than half of the world's people will have water restrictions. In Bangladesh, water population is caused in part of poverty and in part by overpopulation. Yet its population could balloon to 250 million by 2050, more than 85 million more people than the country holds in 2020. High-income countries are far less likely to face polluted drinking water because they often have means to purify their water and dispose of human waste properly. However, population growth in a high-income country can lead to water shortages too. One reason that people in those countries consume more water. In the United States, a 4-person family on average uses 1,540 liters of water a day, or roughly 339 liters per person. This level of use would be sustainable if only a few people were using the water. Instead, more and more people rely on the limited water sources. For example, Los Angeles County population is expected to exceed 30 million by 2050. Yet, the country can only support 1 million people on its own water. What does it do? Los Angeles and many other cities in the western United States pull the water from the distant river. Pulling water is expensive, and there's no longer enough river water to go around. The impact of climate change. Climate change is already affecting people around the world by reducing extreme weather. The fact that climate changes pose to the globe water supply may be the worst threat of all. Scientists predict that by 2050, more than 5 million people may face severe water shortages as a result of climate change. Climate change occurs as a result of too much carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. These gases produced in sun's heat close to Earth's surface, much like greenhouse. The result is an overall increase in Earth's temperature. That warming in turn leads to climate change. The warmer temperatures disrupt the water cycle, which is a delicate balance between evaporation and precipitation. Warmer temperatures increase the rate of evaporation of surface water into the atmosphere, affecting different parts of the world in different ways. Increased evaporation might dry out some areas while producing less precipitation in others. There are long periods of abnormally low precipitation that result in a shortage of water. Regions at the highest risk of drought, including the Mediterranean and the Middle East in the United States, Most scientists say that climate change is responsible for extreme drought in the Southwest and California. The drought in the Southwest has been causing problems in the region since 1999. The water level of Lake Mead on the border between Nevada and Arizona has plumped. The lake, which is fed by the Colorado River, is a source of fresh water for 25 million people. If rain don't increase soon, odds are gooder than the residents. We will have to start rationing water. In 2019, Arizona, Nevada, and Mexico agreed to cut the first time under the drought contingency plan. Scientists say that climate change is also responsible for the melting of glaciers high in the Himalaya mountains. The glacier won't have provided fresh water for 1.5 billion people living in Asia, Pakistan, and other 6 Asian countries. In the past, the melting glaciers slowly released water into the tributaries of the Indus, Ganges, and Brahmaputra River. Now, the rapidly melting of glaciers is depleting the water supply. At the same time, the increased glacial melt has caused severe flooding along each of 3 rivers. As climate change worsens, less water is available for producing energy, raising livestock and growing crops. Wild animal natural ecosystems suffer. Argument back out between cities and states, even countries who have the best claim to water. Tension all over water are growing to India, at least 2 of its neighbors, Pakistan and China. All fear racing and build dams on headwater in the Himalayas that feed important rivers below. Meanwhile, some countries in Africa argue over who had best claim on the Nile River. In the Middle East, it was the largest area on Earth. Some experts predict that the next war will be over water. Solving the problem. So what can we do? Individual efforts to conserve water can have an impact. United States can conserve too. 2013, faced with California's righteous record, the government called for 20% voluntary reduction in water usage. Resistant but cracked when drought ended in 2017, water use increased again. Countries need to find solutions to work in Saudi Arabia, converting salt water to fresh water in a process called desalination. The process is expensive though, and many countries cannot afford to build desalination plants. The island nation of Singapore is purifying wastewater that comes from washing dishes, washing toilets, and taking baths and showers. Some other countries do this too, but Singapore obtains 1/3 of its water this way. Agriculture uses about 70% of the world's water, but some farmers and ranchers are finding ways to use less. The water saved could be instead used by rapidly growing cities. Solving the planet water problem is complicated. Still, we need to find ways to conserve these valuable resources, not just for our generation, but for the ones yet to come.
You got a perfect score?